WECT News begins now with breaking news.
New pictures sent to us within the past hour of law enforcement raiding a gaming parlor. A handful of people are facing charges tonight for their involvement. WECT's Caitlin Stansel is live now in Bladen County, bringing you the very latest details. Just in.
Well, Fran, we just got out of the press conference with the Bladen County Sheriff's Office as well as the district attorney here in Bladen County, and they've been working on this case for the past year and a half, working to bust the Aladdin sweepstakes in Dublin and another store located in Tar Heel, and that is just what they have done. We have some photos of mugshots of those involved in this case. One of them, Jeff Smith, a Dublin town councilman. He's been in the headlines for this kind of thing before, charges involving sweepstakes stores. And what we know right now from the Bladen County Sheriff's Office is that they are seizing these machines as we speak. This all started this morning at around 10 a.m. when they went in with arrest warrants to take in Jeff Smith along with his wife as the owners of these establishments, and then they took in 4 other people as well as operators of these businesses. Now, the district attorney says the statute is very broad, so they've been working very hard to make sure that they have enough evidence on these guys to make sure that they can charge them. But he had one quote during the press conference that said, "This is the last bet that has been placed and the game is over here in Bladen County involving video sweepstakes." And we did try to talk to Jeff Smith and his wife. They were standing right here outside of the courthouse in Elizabethtown. They didn't want to comment. They direct us to their lawyer's office, which is coincidentally just right across the street, but he also did not want to comment at this time. We're going to have more coming up on WECT News at 6, but for now, back to you in the studio.
3 businesses busted, 6 people arrested. The result of a 2.5-month investigation into illegal sweepstakes in Bladen County. One of the targets, Jeff Smith, is a town commissioner in Dublin who has another indictment in Columbus County. Sheriff's investigators say other businesses could be shut down as part of the investigation as well. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm John Evans.
And I'm Frances Weller. A huge sweepstakes raid with half a dozen people now under arrest. This story is still developing at this hour in Bladen County. That's where WECT's Caitlin Stansel is live right now. Caitlin, what's the latest?
Well, Fran and John, Jeff Smith along with his wife Holly have both been charged with felonies, 2 of them each. One of those for owning this Aladdin establishment here in Dublin. There's also one right across the street here. So both of these businesses giving them that charge for owning the sweepstakes establishments, but they were also charged with felonies for promoting this illegal sweepstakes business. And they are just 2 of the numerous others that were implicated in this case. If we can take a look at some videos, some pictures from the scene earlier, also some of those mugshots, they weren't the only ones implicated. At least 4 others were charged for operating these establishments, and another charge with a misdemeanor for having less than 5 on location at a store in Tar Heel as well. Now, all involved in this investigation that has spanned a number of months, and the sheriff of Bladen County here saying for the past year he's been getting complaints from the community about how these businesses have been affecting families in this area. And we also heard today from the district attorney in Bladen County.
In Bladen County, the last bet has been placed and the game is over. Video sweepstakes have been determined to be illegal. Our legislature has passed a very strong statute in outlawing this activity, and our Supreme Court, in a unanimous decision, has cleared up any confusion about the legality of this statute.
Now, the sheriff's office is on scene right now. They're still going through some of the evidence, but those people that were arrested weren't the only ones brought in. The sheriff's office also seizing those sweepstakes machines. And we're going to have more coming out tonight on WECT News at 11. Hearing from a local pastor in town that was one of the ones that was complaining to the sheriff's office about the trouble that these establishments were causing in this community. Live in Bladen County, Caitlin Stansel, WECT News.
A town councilman is busted, taken in by the Bladen County Sheriff's Office for owning and promoting illegal sweepstakes games in 2 locations in Dublin. Jeff Smith and his wife Holly were charged with felonies. 5 other people charged as well for operating gaming systems. Smith has served for years as a Dublin town councilman. The Smith shop, the Aladdin and the Aladdin 2, were raided by deputies this morning, along with another business in Tar Heel. More than 150 sweepstakes machines were seized. This all came after complaints from residents in the community. One pastor says he's seen how these games can impact people and their families.
We've had folks that have come to different churches and pastors asking for assistance with feeding and utility bills and such, and after doing some investigating, finding out that they had lost pretty much everything they had at these facilities.
The Smiths, along with others in this investigation, will appear before a judge next week.
A town councilman is busted, taken in by the Bladen County Sheriff's Office for owning and promoting illegal sweepstakes games at 2 locations in Dublin. Jeff Smith and his wife Holly were charged with felonies, and 5 other people were also charged for operating these gaming systems. The Smiths' shops, the Aladdin and Aladdin 2, were raided by deputies this morning, along with another business in Tar Heel. More than 150 sweepstakes machines were seized. This all comes after your complaints to authorities. One pastor says he's seen how these games affect people and their families.
We're not after anybody. We're not trying to attack an individual person. We're just trying to help the community to remove any kind of barriers they may have to being able to live their lives and pay their bills and feed their family.
The Smiths, along with the others charged in this investigation, will appear before a judge next week.